Good morrow. This is Guinea here on the floor. We are currently at my partner's mom's house. They are replacing the carpet downstairs, so I've awoken in a different environment than you guys have been seeing me. I didn't record anything really yesterday except for those two things I saw in Dollar Tree when I took my sister out. She was buying stuff to make for Mother's Day next weekend. Make some roses. But yesterday I spent most of the day kind of just holding space for her and things that were happening in her life. Not surprised because it's a Sun in Taurus, Moon in Scorpio eclipse. Today is the eclipse day. She's a Sun in Taurus, Moon in Scorpio. So I held space for her mostly all day yesterday. Really not much happened except understanding that today is the day. Today is the day I shall be sharing my truth. Whew. I had an interesting dream last night where I was in Sedona for some of it. And at the last part of it, it was like a call went out all over the world. And out of nowhere, I had a bow in my hand, and I was running up this hill covered in orange flowers. When I got to the top, there was this native-looking man kneeling by his son, and he told his son, "There are portals happening above you right now. If there was a time to act, it is now." And I was like, oh, snap, and I woke up. So if there was a time to act, it is now. So I will be informing everyone today, well, not everyone, but everyone that does not know already, of my plans to be officially moved into the van and moved onto the road when Dustin and I go on our trip. So that's going to be some big news to give today, and I'm prepared for it. I feel good about it, so I'm just contemplating whether or not I'll be landscaping today. My partner still doesn't feel good enough to go, but we could use the abundance. So I'm contemplating going solo, and then I might record some of that if I do go, and then I'll be checking back in with you guys after I share all of my information. And I even contemplated just like putting my phone on record and setting it face down so you could hear the conversation, and also to kind of support myself. I know it sounds stupid, but I might do that. So I'll see you when I see you. So I am gonna go landscaping today. We'll find out what I do. I did learn a very interesting lesson while I was sitting contemplating whether or not I was gonna go, and I will talk to you about it after I fill up my water and get on the road. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, wish me luck getting to a gas station before running out of gas. I'm on my way to go do some landscaping, and I asked my partner, since he won't be joining me, I was like, well, do you know what it is she'll have me be doing today? And he said, you might be cutting down all the rest of the daffodils, all the narcissus flowers. And when I heard that, just thinking about how many thousands of daffodils there are, I was like, okay, and how much would I get paid? Like $200, $100? He's like, it's $100. I was like, $100? He's like, yeah, it's been $100. I was like, that doesn't feel equivalent to my worth. And not even in like a cocky way, just like knowing how efficient I am at working and how good of a job that I do. I know getting $100 after the end of a 5-hour shift doing that does not feel right. And I would like for you to try that out yourself. Maybe if you work a job where you get paid every 2 weeks, just think about how much you would be getting paid. Sorry, there's a car, I don't want to see me recording and driving. Imagine getting paid by the hour that day, how much you would get paid after all the work you did that day, and if you feel that's equivalent or not. I was like, I'm worth more than that. And he didn't necessarily take it the wrong way, but it's always surprising to hear someone say something where you're like, what? Like, yeah, no, after 5 hours of doing something, I feel like I'm worth more than $100. So getting $100 at the end of the shift, I am grateful, because it's $100 that's going to go straight into the gas tank, essentially, but that's all that it's doing. It's literally just going to be gas money. So I find it almost entirely important to continue moving into what I'm being called to do, because I know that'll provide better fruits for the services that I'm offering, and I will feel maybe a little less frustrated about doing so much physical work, and then the fruit that I get back for it doesn't feel equivalent to the work that I did. But anyhow, I'm gonna go and pray that this gas station has tap to pay that's near where she lives, and I'll probably record a little bit of me working. Oh, this is the perfect time to go. I'll probably record a little bit of me working, and then I will see you guys at the end of the day. Okay, I didn't record anything that we did because I was working with the woman whose home this is all day. I'll hide the address as I drive off. And I just didn't feel like recording while she was working with me. And be like, hey, do you mind? But I basically was removing narcissus bulbs where she's going to replant them. We removed some narcissus bulbs. We cut down other daffodils. We planted some ferns. We planted some bushes. We planted some plants. I forgot their names. Some flowers. And then I went to the backyard. It's just a very big property. Went to the backyard and cut down some more daffodils, cut down some old ferns, raked out leaves and raked out daffodils, and it was a lot of work. And then at the very end of the shift, she was like, okay, so we're all squared away? And I was like, I just said yes. I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, well then we'll see you next week. And then I remembered my partner told me that he technically still needed to come one day to make up for not working 3 days while she was out of town. So apparently, I just worked that shift today. Hold on, the brightness is a little high. I just worked that shift today. And then I was like, oh, interesting. So I'm walking to throw away the final amount of, like, because I have to go, dump the piles and dump the leaves and the greenery and whatnot. As I'm walking to do that, I'm like, wait a minute. First, I came thinking, I already work really hard and do a lot. So I felt like, based on the amount of work that I do, the way I price myself isn't equivalent to that work. And then to find out that I did all that work today, busting my ass, and it was just to make us even for my partner not working one day last week. So I basically worked for my partner. So I was just like, interesting. But the shift is done now. We basically have 1 week left, essentially, until we get on the road to Sedona. So now I'm basically going to just be focusing on informing. When I get to the house, I'll be informing, and then that'll be the end of this part 1. And then part 2 is going to be from full moon eclipse till we get to Sedona. So it's been interesting. I'm going to enjoy this drive, take a shower when I get back, and then I'll see you guys after I express these changes. It is the next day. I am in my partner's car, and I did not tell anyone yet. Last night, I got there. My niece just wanted to hang out. She was, listening to Christmas music. And she asked me to draw with her, so she asked me to draw what my perfect Christmas looks like. So I drew it. I showed you guys. She was just chilling on the couch. My husband's mother was chilling in her room, and I was just like, it just doesn't feel right, doesn't feel like the time. And then as I was thinking about all the details of what I would say, I realized that my partner and I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and flesh out what will happen if we have enough money to make it to Sedona and then further, or what we'll do if we can only make it to Sedona. So I'm gonna sit by myself. I'm on my way actually to my sister's, not birthday dinner, but a birthday breakfast for family members that couldn't make it to the last event. So I'm on my way to do that now. I look tired because I am tired. I didn't realize we were going to be having it so early. So on my way now. What else was I going to say? So yeah, I will most likely be going over the plans and details after breakfast. And then bringing him to my partner, see what my partner thinks, and then I will be telling them. So, yeah.
I'm going to give you a tune by a fellow named Willie Dixon.
Bam, bam, bam. Ooh.
Oh, so I have to see this in my lifetime? No.
When Brenda told me she went to those pole classes. Okay, it's me. I'm back again, and this time some interesting updates. Yesterday was supposed to be the day. I was gonna finally tell everybody because I was gonna sit and make a plan with my partner, and I went to go have a birthday breakfast for my sister. Everyone hung out. They ran some errands afterwards, and I joined along with them. And then after that, it was time for me to go back. Because something was telling me not to go back to the house just yet. And I listened to that, because I usually do when I feel something like that, when Spirit is speaking to me. And so I listened. I said, okay, well, if I'm not going back to the house, where am I going? And they said, go to the beach. So I said, okay. So I was headed towards the beach, which isn't far from where we live. So I decided to go to the beach. And when I got there, I didn't take the exit I normally would. They told me, no, go further down. So I went further down and went like this old way I used to take whenever I used to drive to the beach at night. Oh, I thought something was in my teeth. And I got a lot of baby food from the grocery store. Gonna be my makeshift smoothies when we can't make them on the road. So I stopped, or I turned in like I normally would, and then I realized that they were having a market day. And I used to work the market days. And I was like, interesting, a market day. And then I was like, wait a minute. One of my previous partners, helped run the market day events. So I was like, oh snap, is he gonna be here? What are the odds that I'm being called to this beach and he might be here? So I drove and I was driving through, saw someone that kind of looked like him, and then I parked, kind of walked around, just wanted to walk the path I used to walk. I used to walk it late at night after getting off at the theater, and I would journal and just reflect and think about things. And then as I got to my parking spot and I was walking around, I walked into the event. I didn't have a wristband on or anything. And you need a wristband in order to get in, which I didn't know until the second time I tried to walk through. I walked through the first time, looking around, recorded a little bit, you'll see in this clip, obviously. And then someone came up to me who I thought I saw someone that I recognized. I was like, no, that can't be them. And then they came up while I was pretending to be on the phone. And they were like, hey, you're just going to walk by and not say hi? And it was my ex-partner's brother. And he looked so different. Like, I almost thought he was my previous partner for a second because of how different he looked. He's a Capricorn, so all of the Capricorn energy, Saturn, Pluto, all those energies that have been in Capricorn, I could see the transformation on him. It was very obvious. And so I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? He's like, it's going good. I'm well. I was like, you look great. You look happy, healthy. He's like, I am doing great. And then I was like, how is, I checked in on every family member. And then I said, and how is, insert previous partner's name here. And he's like, he's good. Everyone's good. I was like, that's awesome. And then he was like, I do want to let you know that he's going to be down here in a little bit. And he said that like in a way of like, hey, he's going to be here soon, so maybe you shouldn't be here. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and go. I don't want to cause any more trauma. Kind of like laughed, but that's not really what I wanted to say, but I didn't know what to say because I was still processing the fact that I even ran into him and the fact that I had been called to go down there and what it could all mean. So I kind of walked out of that area and sat near a bench and journaled a little bit, looked at the water, was thinking about what it could mean. I was praying to my spirit guides. I was like, what does this mean? Because the other day I had been having dreams and seeing people and words and things that made me think about it. And then I was like, well, maybe there's something I need to, like I looked up, what does it mean when you dream about a previous partner and stuff like that. And sometimes it means, unfinished business, you haven't closed things out. And really, when I started to actually think about it, I hadn't closed things out, really. We broke up and things were ended, but we never really got healthy closure because when we broke up, it was around the time that I decided to move to Colorado, basically the beginning of this channel. And I was going through my own stuff as a Capricorn rising, but I never really stayed in contact or anything. We never spoke. And just recently, the other day, I felt moved to message him and thank him for who he was as a person when we were together, because of all the things I was going through, things he was going through, just the time in the world. And he didn't say anything, but knowing him, I didn't think he would. I figured he would just process it and sit with it. And then my sister and I were going to get crafts for Mother's Day, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I keep getting these signs that maybe I should message him. And right as I said that, the lights like went halfway out in the store, and I was like, and then that was the eclipse day. Next day, or that was the day after the eclipse, and then yesterday was Sunday. Or wait, no, it was the eclipse day that happened, and then yesterday was the day after the eclipse, and that's when all this happened. But I was there for a little while, and I did not see him, and I have a feeling that he was hiding from me. I was like, man, would he be hiding? And then it really made me think about myself, and like, how did things end? What was our relationship like? How did he feel after everything? And like, not really taking the time to sit and like reflect on our relationship and what I learned and everything that happened. And it's really difficult sometimes for me, because I can be hurt in a relationship and keep going and keep trying and keep doing things, but I don't express that hurt for someone to understand what's happened on my end. But then it's so easy for me to see that when I can no longer handle it and need to break up with them, how much I hurt them. And so it was interesting to sit with that and understand, like, maybe he still is strongly affected by what happened with us. And I think he's blocked me on social media, so that should be a sign as well. So I was really just kind of sitting with, like, I was praying to Spirit. I was like, okay, well, is this just supposed to be for me to learn about, like, my relationship patterns, or it's supposed to be for closure? What does it mean? So I've been sitting with that, and this is definitely going to be on Patreon. So no one has to be all up in my business in the YouTube world, but it was very interesting. And today is the next day. When I came back home, I didn't know what to say, but today is the next day. I'm planning everything that we need to pack for our trip.
Oh.
I'm just making a video. You're fine. What's up?
I wanted to show you something.
What?
But I'll show you later.
Okay. So packing up all of the food that we just bought from the grocery store today, all of the dry goods and canned goods and things that don't need to be refrigerated. I've been trying to buy anything that's on sale and stocking up a lot of pasta, a lot of rice, a lot of beans, canned corn, canned vegetables, organic, baby foods. We have the camping stove, and then what we'll most likely do is buy fresh produce wherever we're at to try and eat throughout the day. And then those meals will probably be more for like nighttime when we're parked somewhere in the woods or something. I'm still trying to figure out, because we'll be in Sedona, how it's all going to work out. So I'm going to be doing some research on that, because it's our last week before we go. It's going to be kind of rainy this week, which means that we won't get as much landscaping. Sorry, I retwisted my hair last night, and I actually did it like you're supposed to for the first time ever, and I'm just kind of processing what it looks like now. But yeah, so I'm getting everything together now to prepare for next week. So I used Gas Buddy last night to figure out how much it would cost from here to Sedona, using all the best gas stations. Gas Buddy will let you do that. Type in make, model, and everything of your car, which is amazing. So I know I have enough saved, but my partner has been struggling with saving money. I think it's because he's a Scorpio stellium in the second house. Anybody here relate? But yeah, I'll probably speak about this too also on YouTube as well. Just not all the stuff I just talked about. So yeah, it's been interesting to try and process that and figure out what it means. And I'm really ready to just go on this trip with my partner, and for us to just spend alone time together, so I can understand our dynamic and what it is without other people in it, in an environment that's neutral to both of us. So I'm really looking forward to that, so that I can continue to move forward, understanding the foundation of our union and the foundation of our relationship, and go from there. So I'm organizing and centering the van, gonna get the checklist for this week of what to do to the van, and I will see you guys after I inform them. And it doesn't seem like it'll feel as bad to inform them now, because I understand that I'm making a plan. He's gonna come back, and I'm going to just spend some time solo on the road doing my own thing, and then I'll meet up with him when I'm ready to meet up with him. So yeah, okay, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so I just you can show me. I just informed everyone, so now everyone in my reality has been informed of what is happening. Went very well, very grateful. Spoke my truth, spoke my plans, spoke from my heart. shared my intentions, and yes, I cried, and then my eye won't stop twitching. But I'm very grateful. It felt really good. A very nice release, and I feel excited to begin building a foundation, and doing what I keep saying I'm going to do. I'm going to actually do it, and I know that things will only grow from there. Only become more and more of something that will produce fruits because I'm actually starting to plant the seeds. So.
Are you recording?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You're okay. I was just.
Come out and pitch to us?
Oh yeah, Dustin's gonna go pitch some softball, but I'm looking forward to seeing what just a month in some sacred space with myself will bring up to the surface. What transmissions want to come out? What songs want to come out? What ideas want to be birthed? So this concludes basically the from Virginia to Sedona, new moon to full moon eclipse culmination, and from here, the next time you see me and Dustin, we will be in Sedona. Look, his face.
It's me.
His feet. It's not his knee. It's not his hand. It's his face.
You don't know me.
They haven't seen you since you cut your hair.
Well, I'm sorry we have to meet under these circumstances right now.
So yeah, the next time you see us, it will be in Sedona. There are beautiful things to come, beautiful
Sedona
things
on the
we're looking
line.
forward to sharing. Some will be here on YouTube, some will be more personal through Patreon. And I'm grateful for whoever I'll be connecting with on either platform and either space. So thank you for your support. Thank you for those of you who have already subscribed and who believe in me and believe in what I want to do and what I want to be, the change I wish to see, and riding these waves of change with me. So until next time, as always, I'm sending you peace and aloha. Go and speak your truth from your heart. You can do it. Take care now.